I prototyped a math app for my son a while back, and I was considering building it as a product, but it's a pretty unusual design, so I wanted to see if other parents would understand or want it before I built it. So I paid a few strangers on Prolific, which is like Mechanical Turk, who fit my target audience, to tell me two things. First, are they looking for better ways to teach math? Are they satisfied with whatever they're currently doing to solve or work around it? And then, can they comprehend my product idea and do they prefer it over typical math app concepts? So, I just want to explain why I tested with ads and not product mockups. Because ads test the product's promise. And now, promise is the good outcome you expect or imagine when you buy something. It's more specific than market demand, but it doesn't define features or design. It's the most important benefit, and it includes the unique value proposition, if you've heard those terms. But the bottom line is if people don't find the promise of the product interesting, the design doesn't matter. So, so let me just show you what I asked and the results. So these first few questions are sort of in the line of mom test. Like I said, they're aimed to tell us whether there is a problem to be solved, an unmet need in the market. So first, I just found out if they are the kind of people who buy math learning tools. If they aren't, if they just do whatever happens in class, don't care, then they're probably not interesting answers for me. It also helped me give me a sense for what kinds of things they buy. So it was interesting and actually a little surprising how many bought paper workbooks. But it made sense when I thought about it because I myself have bought paper workbooks for my kid at various points. It was interesting also to see that no one out of the 10 bought Dragonbox, and which I thought was a popular app that all my friends knew about. So that helped me get real and get out of my bubble of my personal friends and family. Same with Brilliant.org, which I thought ran all kinds of ads that would have been targeted at these people, and maybe a few would have bought it. But nope. Anyway, so interesting results. And then, more importantly, I asked how satisfied they were with all the products that you tried. So yeah, you can see they're quite satisfied with their products here. Um, so that's a bit worrying. There's no massive unmet need that was obvious here. And then I always include a few freeform text inputs because I want to see if bots are filling this in. And I still trust my own judgment that in just the writing style, it also tells me if this is low effort respondents or they took the time to actually type anything. And I can see here that at least 5 of these look like they could be real humans who actually thought about the question. Um, then here, I just asked, are there existing commercial products that address the problems? So this is different than the previous one where I said, have you bought anything? I was just trying to see if they are the kind of people that buy stuff. And now here, I asked them first to think about problems, like such as slow learner. That is a perception of their problem. The parent thinks they're a slow learner. And then, do they feel like they bought things that address the problems? And then going back to the questions, you'll see the scale here is a little confusing. So one means they definitely are existing commercial products. And going back to responses, you can see that there were two people who said, yeah, there were definitely were, but a lot of people said no. So that's a more promising sign of a unmet need for these particular problems. And then I just let him type some more stuff. And again, uh, it was kind of, I was looking for AI generated responses or essentially low effort uh, data. Then I got onto the second part where I showed him two ads. So this is meant to be like a mock-up of AdWord, Google ad you'd see on the side of your search results. And here is a different ad. Um, so if you read those, I hope it's really obvious that there's a very different promise done by each one. This one promises repetition and structure and building exam skills. This one says no repetition, no practice sets. They learn through chatting, and it does nothing about exams. So I tried to make the unique value proposition of my idea, which is B, super clear, really obvious difference. And yeah, so hopefully if they clicked B, it's because they are not looking for something that just grinds them through question after question, but they want some kind of more metacognitive thing where you're chatting about math. You're not trying to practice how to do math. So as you can see, a lot of people preferred B, which is exciting. But notice that's only 4 respondents, so it's not a huge number. Still quite a few people wanted to grind through stuff. And so really both. So this person liked both things. So that means that really 5 people liked B. And then I prompted them to reread the ad carefully, always helpful, and then to share feelings about it. I didn't really ask them a specific thing. Again, I left it open-ended on purpose to try to fish out 2 things. One is, are these fake people? And did they put in an effort to understand the ad? And is there something in that ad that stood out to them as appealing? So this first one looks like AI generated to me. So I might discard this result because I think this might be a low effort respondent. All the rest of these look like, a short blurb, and the way they typed it suggests these are real human responses. And I can also see that some of these people really understood the thing. It teaches basic school math, yes. This one, it seems fine and promising. That sounds a little vague. I'm not sure they really even read the ad very well, or they possibly just didn't express themselves very well, and so on. So I look at each and every one, think about if it's valid or not. And then for my product idea, I was really looking to see, did they get the gist of what it does? This person, or at least the AI got it. Whether or not the actual person did, I don't know. This one simply prefers it. B is the best one. Now that might indicate that they guessed correctly that this was my product and they're trying to please me, which is a really common problem with surveys. Or it might be a genuine response. Don't know. And this one feels more genuine. I love this because they explain why. It teaches real life mathematics. What in there did they see that was real life? That's interesting. Okay, I said real world math literacy as opposed to exams. So that's the part they repealed. It's not really the chatty bit. It's the fact that it has to do with real world math. So that's probably like balancing your checkbook and stuff. So that helps me skew my product design toward that if I was to get that response a lot. This one, I don't know, sounds like a human. I'm not really sure what they mean. Alternative learning method. Yeah, that's actually cutting to the heart of it right there. Alternative learning. This is not about jamming on your average everyday workbook. This is a totally alternative approach. And so I think they get it. Um, and yeah, so this person disagrees with the concept. So that's really important feedback for me. Yeah, they get it, but they don't like it. They do not want people chatting about math. They say learners learn best through experiential. And I think what they mean is go do your homework, do those problems over and over until you know how to actually run the formulas. And they don't really value the other idea of just chatting about concepts. And this person, on the other hand, does value that chatting, understanding math concepts and verbalizing. It's what the product does. So if they chose that B over A, then yeah, that's pretty validating. So, and then just some freeform final thoughts. And this is where they can type anything they want about anything. And you can see here, I like both ideas, but B would be perfect for my child. That's a really exciting line to read, right? It's not a lukewarm thing like this last one here that explains what it did, but didn't say it was so great. This one is really somebody who loves it. That's awesome. So, yeah. So, it's exciting, right? I find this very exciting and motivating, but I'm also realistic because I've done a lot of this kind of survey, and I know this would not prove that anyone would actually buy this product. So I'm not under any illusion that I'm good to go and I can just put this straight on the App Store and I'm going to make a ton of money. Now, I've got a long way to go, but it is exciting, and it's a big difference between how I imagined and wondered before I asked anyone and seeing something, right? It is exciting to see my idea, first of all, was comprehensible enough to be appealing, and most of the participants found it at least somewhat appealing. That's exciting. It's motivating. All right.